Hey YouTube, back on to California Central Valley, and I still think that's a turkey. I don't know. What do you think? Uh, Leave your comments in below the video there if you think that's a turkey. I think it's a turkey. I really do. And whoever made that, uh, I love it. I love the flying turkey. That's great. But anyway, we've got us a new trailer. Yeah, we do. We've got a USA flatbed with the auto load feature from the Fleagle. Let's go ahead and jump in the truck. We got our scaled in weight, 15,307 something. So let's go over here and offload. Just notice up in the HUD it says show Fleagle BT DPW when they help. So they took the load script and stuff and installed it on this trailer. And kudos, because I was trying to do that, and I'll be the first to admit I am not a very good modder. I mean, I can do some edits, I can change colors, I can import export objects, but when it comes to the nuts and bolts of building stuff, oh, them hay bales wig out. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Just 'cause I'm sitting here. Yeah, nice job on the trailer. It works. You'll notice it does, oh, there it is, J, toggle loading. See, the J disappears. So, I don't know, something in the XML or something that when you first get the truck, and you're like, okay, well, what can I load? And then you're like, okay, toggle load products, okay, X. Square bales, round bales, wool pallets, seed pallets, board pallets, square bales. Unload side is the right side, and the manual, and it's manual loading. So, okay, what's that mean? So if you're in manual, you drive around, and every time you get close to a bale, you have to hit the B, because B is load products. So if you hit J, it goes to automatic. Okay. Let's try and load some round bales. We're parked right next to a whole bunch of round bales. Of course, my truck is not the fastest. This is so I just wanted to see if I haven't hauled any round bales, but I was just curious what it was. Oh, nice. Does use straps. Nice. Okay. We will pull right next to this and offload. Ooh, that was pretty sloppy. Back up, try it again. Yeah, she kind of just, boom. Oh well. It's in the general vicinity where it needs to be, right? So yeah, looks good. Looks good, works good. I was about to give up on the putting that load script and stuff on that trailer, and then I'm in a private group. I cannot give a link to this. I cannot give a link to this trailer. What you need to do is, I'm a member of a group on a Facebook page, and you may not agree with what they how they share mods. But they're very open sharing group. They're on Facebook. They share mods. No misconception about it. That is their mission. Is that if you put a mod out there in the public's view on the internet, then it should be shared. They don't want their members. Oops, I'm just giving links out directly to the mods. I think there's a limit on the speed. Slow it down. No, it's still. No, it was still loading. So, no, there's no speed limit. Let's crank it up. Sorry, I was concentrating on what I was doing. Yeah, so if you make a YouTube video and it's got somebody's mod on it, they don't want to hear the excuse of, oh, it's private. Well, if it's private, it needs to stay private. It needs to stay in your computer. It doesn't need to be blasted all over the internet. And they're right. Why tease people with these mods? Well, look what I have. And you know what? You're not my friend, so I'm not going to share it with you. That ruins the gaming experience for people. You see a mod out there on YouTube or pictures of it on a Facebook page, and you follow the comments. And hey, that's a great looking truck. What a great idea! I never thought of that. That's awesome. Are you going to share it? And then the first comment might be maybe. And then, it's just kind of self-centered, selfish kind of responses, And then, hey, where's the link to that mod? That looks great. I'd like to have that. No, it's private. It's private? Yeah, I'm not going to share it. And it's like, what? And why are you putting it out on the internet? To torment people? To lure them into your game of bait and switch? I mean, really? I saw that so much with a particular individual that he puts out these videos of his map, and he even went to the point of, well, I'm converting this map over to 15, and hey, what do you guys think I should add? He asked all of his viewers, right? Because I watched his videos, and so he asks all of his YouTube viewers, what should I add? What do you think? And so, like a lemming, okay, what about migrating geese? What about, what do you think about this idea, or wildlife, because that is the thing, when you live out in the country, in the farm country, you will see wildlife. You'll see deer, elk, coyotes, migrating geese, migrating ducks, and as far as I can tell, he added it, right? Well, then, he just constantly has this. Now, so you'll see people from other countries, see his videos, and they ask him, link, and he just replies back, private, private. And it's like, you know what, then take your damn YouTube videos down. If it's private, it needs to stay private. And that's the thing that drives people absolutely bonkers. I wish I was a better modder. And I'm going to attempt to become a better modder. And I swear this to you, to anyone who's listening to my voice, is I will never private a mod. I guarantee you, if I get to the point where I can build a mod from scratch, and I have some ideas. Like I have a grain auger idea that I'm working on, you know, and it involves it's a mod that's already out there. It's a belt conveyor mod, and I think I can convert that thing to make it look like a grain auger. And the idea would be that you would have these placeable silos, right? And these placeable silos have a particular volume, like say 50,000 bushel silo, 100,000 bushel silo, and you would move this grain auger, right? You'd move this grain auger over to your silo. You would fill it to the full level. But you can't put more than, because right now you just keep dumping grain, and there's no, as far as I know, there's no like cap to how much grain you can put in your storage. So the idea would be you'd have these placeable bunkers, silage bunkers, or not bunkers. Sorry, my mind's in like three places at once here. You'd have these placeable silos, right? And so you'd have this grain auger that you would move. So like say down here at this grain facility, right? You got all these bunkers or these silos, and you're harvesting barley. Well, you can't mix barley in the same silo that you have wheat in. So one of these silos would be designated for barley, and you would back your auger up to it, right? And you would offload into that. Of course, these are kind of huge. You really wouldn't use these kind of. They'd have to be smaller. But you get the idea, right? So it would be a movable grain auger, and you would use it in conjunction with. And you could also, say you have grain carts, gravity feed grain carts out in the field collecting, and then you transport it over to the edge of the field. You have a grain auger, and then you have a truck with a belly dump grain auger, right? And so then you don't need the big like Kinsey carts. You could use like a J&M, the little gravity feed wagons. And so you'd be out collecting the grain from the combines, and you'd go over to the grain auger and offload into a semi. There's that aspect of it too. So transferring grain. We're doing 100 kilometers an hour collecting bale. That's awesome. Another idea. Sorry about all the stuttering and stuff. I'm trying to drive too, but another idea that I have would involve a new type of fruit or new type of harvest, and that is a sweet corn picker. Now everybody knows what sweet corn is. Field corn or dent corn that is raised out in the field is generally not for human consumption. I mean, some of it is, but most of it goes for either commercial type use like ethanol or canola. It's generally not for human consumption. It's not until you get into the sweet corn fields where, like Del Monte or Green Giant, people who produce human grade food that, it's just full already. I was just noticing that, down there in the HUD where the speedometer is and stuff, it doesn't show that the trailer's full, so there's something different about that. You have the 30 of 30 on the square bales, that little pop-up, but it still says that my trailer is 0% full, so that's kind of, so there must be an error there, but Yeah, it works. So anyway, this corn picker idea I have. Well, if you ever go on YouTube, which I guess if you're watching this video, you're on YouTube. So, pardon me, I'm stupid. So anyway, when you get done watching this video, search for Minnesota sweet corn harvest, and on there you'll see these combine-looking type equipment. Right? It looks like the cab of a combine. The body's different. It's just basically a big square, as far as the body. But then out the back is this elevator or conveyor belt looking thing, and they've got it conveying to an oxbow type overloader trailer. And they're doing like 6 rows at a time, and oops, it's there. So the combine's out there picking corn. Well, now you could use the same idea of like a sweet potato harvester, right? But instead of in a field of sweet potatoes, you'd be going down a sweet corn field. Now, sweet corn generally grows shorter than your dent corn. So, if dent corn grows to be 7.5, 8 foot tall, sweet corn is generally 2 feet shorter. But you can always tell the difference, because sweet corn generally is a shorter grown, shorter stock product. So the sweet corn picker would go out and harvest the sweet corn. The what would be harvested would be similar to sweet potatoes, but it would be ears of corn with the husk still on them. And I just think that would be interesting, because that is a real product that's grown all over the world. And whether it's eating corn on the cob or it's taken and I don't know what the term is, it would be shucked and kerneled, where they take the corn kernels off the cob and then it's canned. So you could, have like a Del Monte or I'm thinking of like a cannery, some kind of a cannery that you would take this corn to, right? So there's a whole line of fruit for that. So that's an idea. But if I could mod and actually build things, it gets frustrating in Blender, because Blender is so hard to navigate through. I struggle. I don't know if you do, but I struggle with it. And I've been watching some different videos on Blender usage, and I have not been watching like how to make a farm sim. How to make a farm mod on Blender on YouTube. I've been watching this guy. His name's Jacob Lewis, and he's just showing how to operate Blender. He's got an entire series of how-to type videos for Blender, which includes modeling, texturing, rendering, animation, and very interesting. And so, if you ever get a chance and you want to learn something about Blender, just to navigate around in it, Jacob Lewis is the guy to look up, and it's just his name, Jacob Lewis, spelled just like it sounds. So anyway, I think we're about 20 minutes into this video. I think you can pretty much anticipate as to how this video is going to end. I'm going to drive around this field. I'm going to collect bales. I'm going to take them over to the dairy, and I'm going to dump them off in a big pile. And that's pretty much the gist of it. So, hey, thanks for watching, you guys, and tell your friends, subscribe if you want to watch more videos from me. I don't mean to rant and rave, but it's just as of recently, there's just been some drama on the whole farm sim community, and it's just like I am fed up with it, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to subscribe to people who treat others with disrespect and look down their nose at others. It's not that I can't mod. It's that I've never had time to actually sit down, and maybe that's an excuse. Maybe I'm just making excuses, but I'm kind of technology limited. I don't have time to sit and learn how to 3D model. I really don't. So, well, anyway, enough of that. Hit like if you like the video. I will leave the Facebook group that I am involved with. Hopefully, you go to their Facebook page, you check them out, you want to join the group, read their rules and stuff, and check them out. They're kind of a crass, if you know what the word crass means. They're kind of a rough bunch of guys, but you know what? They're going to tell you exactly what the truth is, and they're not going to pull any punches with you. They're straightforward. So, hey, thanks for watching, and as always, keep the rubber side down, the shiny side up. Keep on farming, guys. Later.